Welcome to this week's episode of Adapting the Outdoors. We are in season 2, and I actually got to do something really cool today. You can't tell, but I'm sitting on a boat, on a bass boat, out in the middle of my local lake, Lake Jacksonville, here in Jacksonville, Illinois. And in the front of the boat, and I'm going to turn around in just a minute and show you, is a gentleman by the name of Bob Quinn, who is a part of a group called Hooked on Fishing. Why don't you tell everybody at home what exactly is Hooked on Fishing and how it got started?
Well, Hooked on Fishing is it's actually a location. It's a park in East Peoria, Illinois, and park is built and designed for public fishing, and we specialize in kids, special needs, and senior citizens. And we wanted to build a park that's handicap accessible, that's, it's right in town, it's easily available, so anyone can get to it. There's no reason why you can't get to that park. And we stock it full of fish, and we come and fish and have a good time.
Now, how did you become involved in it?
As a volunteer. I heard about it through some friends and went down, and I mean that's part of the Hooked on Fishing is once you're down there, you're hooked, and it's not just the fishing, but it's the whole aspect. It's the helping kids fish and seniors.
And you and I were talking, and you said that one of the cool things about it is something. You said something to the effect of it's a place where people can go and just be themselves, or something like that.
Yeah, it's what I like about it is, especially with the kids, that you have your kids, and you got your kids that are really athletic, and at school, it's easier to make friends when you're athletic, when you're that star football player or basketball player, whatever it may be, or even with girls, if they're maybe they're the prettiest in school or something, but they got nice hair or whatever girls makes them. But with fishing, none of that matters. And when they come down to the park, I mean, all bets are off, because you don't have to be pretty. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to have the best arm. You don't have to be the fastest person. None of that matters, because fishing is a little bit different sport. It's unique, and it takes patience. It takes finesse. It takes technique. It takes maybe a little different mindset.
And anyone can do it.
Anyone can do it. Yes. You wouldn't believe the wide range of people that come down to that park and they catch fish. And I mean, it's not just this type of person or that type of person. It's all sorts of types. I've seen 90-year-old women down there that just are one after the other. They just got that knack. Patience sometimes. Patience can be everything.
Now, do you know exactly when it was started or when it opened?
2008.
2008
was the first year. Yep.
Okay.
So we're in our second lease. We do. We don't own the property. We lease it from a family called the Dixons. They started it back in the 30s. The property is really cool because it's actually the oldest known pay ponds in the entire country. What I mean by pay ponds is where there's this place that you can go if there's no public lakes in your town. Well, there's these ponds that are privately owned, and you can go and you can pay. And it started out, it was like a nickel a day, way back in the days, maybe cheaper, I don't know, but it's really old. And we get people in there that are in their 80s that fish there as kids. So we've had 4 generations of the same family come to the park, and they've all fished there.
Wow. Since you started volunteering and working with Hooked on Fishing, what would you say is the coolest part about what you do?
It's when someone catches their first fish ever. That's cool. And
to see that look on their face.
It happens a lot. Sometimes it's ecstatic. Sometimes it's a little bit of shock. Sometimes it's like, I don't know. But the ones when they're ecstatic, it's priceless. And interesting enough, last year I had a 94-year-old woman that came down, part of a seniors group. She was in a wheelchair, and she was super quiet. And she catches a fish, and we're, hey, good job. And And like all quietly, she's like, "That's my first fish." I'm like, "What?" And trying to, she goes, "That's my first fish." And I didn't realize her first fish ever. She had never fished her whole
Wow.
entire life, and she caught her first fish. So we've got kids that are 4, 3, whatever, that are catching their first fish, and people that are in their seniors that have never fished and catching their first.
Awesome.
Yeah, priceless.
You were telling me earlier as we were fishing that you've been around fishing most of your life, or if not your whole life.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, just growing up, my family fished. So, I mean, some of the earliest memories with my dad was driving over, or sometimes we walked to a gravel pit just a couple miles from the house and fished right off the bank. And I mean, I can still remember this time where we were trying to catch that male off of his bed. I remember this huge female right off the bank, and I'm trying to catch it with a worm and underneath the bobber. And I think I was around 5, and for whatever reason, I still remember that. So all my life, and it's the reason that fishing is the oldest pastime in the entire world.
Wow.
And the most widespread throughout the entire world. When people think of like cavemen and cavewomen, they weren't really just hunters because they needed water. You have to have water. All of those early, settlers, and they all established around water. If they could, they caught fish first. But in our ponds there, we had an Illinois historian come down one day, and he told me that our exact ponds, because they're spring fed, is on one of the earliest maps known history of Peoria. The French explorer Marquette, we have the Pierre Marquette, bunch of Marquette, in Peoria. Well, he was one of the first to really, explore and mark spots in Peoria, and he actually marked those ponds because there was a freshwater creek right there that ran out to the river, and they set camp there.
Wow. I'm from that area, and I didn't even know that.
I didn't know it either. It took what do you say? He's got a master's in Illinois history for me to learn that. So,
everybody says that, anybody that fishes anyway, says that, oh, I want to go to Guntersville, Okeechobee, all those big time places and catch the big bass. Is that what you want to do, or do you have somewhere not so famous that you want to go, that you've never been?
Well, yeah, I want to go there. I want to catch big fish, but part of me likes. I want to go up. I want to do the opposite. I want to go north, and I want to catch big giant smallmouth.
That does sound like a pretty cool experience.
5, 6 pound smallmouth. So that would.
You can go to the Bass Pro Shop in East Peoria and catch them too, though. If you could give any advice to someone that is new to the sport of fishing, or maybe that isn't new to the sport of fishing, but they're just getting back into it, what advice would you give someone?
I'd say, this may be a little bit of personal opinion, but if you're going to get into something like this, you got to get into it and enjoy it. I'm not a tournament fisherman. That doesn't mean I don't like them and don't approve of them, but you got to enjoy your hobbies and sports, and enjoy being outside, enjoy spending time with friends and family. I mean, this is what God gave us, so just cherish those memories, cherish the time, and don't focus so much on having the nicest equipment, the nicest boat, every lure possible. Simplify all that, go out and just have fun.
One final question. If people want to get involved with Hooked on Fishing, how do they get a hold of you, and what are the hours that they can...
Go to our website, hookedonfishingpark.org. Our Facebook page, I'm pretty active on that, so you can send messages, post questions, and that's the simple way to contact. There's all the FAQs are on our website, so all the simple questions have been answered. We're always looking for volunteers. Volunteering there is fun. You get to help people catch fish. I mean, how can you not like that?
Right.
And typically our groups are only 2 hours at a time. So you're not going to be there for 8 hours a day. You come down for that 2 hours, a little bit of overlap, help out, Beyond that, I mean, we got our phone number listed, and that goes right to me, so I'm going to pick it up and come on down, check the park out, and guarantee that once you spend some time down there, just like everyone else, you'll get hooked on it, and you'll make it just part of your lifestyle.
Well, I definitely intend on coming up there and checking the place out. So I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come out on the boat today and to share this afternoon with you, because it's been a very, very cool experience that I've never gotten to do before.
Not a problem. It's my
The last
pleasure.
time I was on a boat, well, I was probably 10.
I wish the fishing was better, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah, that's why they call it fishing, not catching.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll get them next time.
Well, like I said, I appreciate your time, and I look forward to doing it again in the future.
For all of the viewers, go out and try fishing. If you haven't fished, just try it, okay? It's totally different than your traditional sports, and guarantee if you go out and catch some fish, you're going to get hooked on it.
All right. That was Bob Quinn from Hooked on Fishing. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel. It's Nathan Lamberson. If you just look up my name, you'll be able to find it. And like he said, check out hookedonfishing.org.
Fishingpark.org.
Hookedonfishingpark.org. And hopefully your questions will be answered.
Man, it's frustrating when you're at the mercy of the newscaster, you know?
Yeah.
Nice to catch about a 5-pounder right now.
That would be awesome to catch on film.
If I hooked a big fish right now, I would totally rock start and try to swing it in the boat. And just hope and pray that it doesn't get off.